everybody, welcome back. I'm pretty excited. Today, Toontrack, one of my favorite companies, if you remember last week, I've done a bunch of videos with Toontrack software, but last week I did a video about their new release, Eddie Kramer's Legacy of Rock Drum SDX for Superior Drummer 3, and I'm blown away with it. I've been having a blast with it. But we also knew that as of today, their first EBX package is going to be released, which is their first bass expansion pack for Easy Bass. Easy Bass comes with a modern and a vintage bass, but now they're starting to release these EBX expansion packs. The first EBX expansion pack is the classic rock package, and it seems like it's designed to kind of go with the legacy of rock, although it could be used in many places, right? But what it is an expansion pack based off of a 1960s precision bass. With many options that I'm going to show you. The funny thing is I haven't even tried it yet. I literally just purchased it minutes ago. I thought I would run through my first impressions with it with you and let you hear some of the sound examples, the MIDI files that come with it, and how it works along with the Eddie Kramer's Legacy of Rock package. So let's go over to Cubase. So over here in Cubase, what I've done, I've loaded up Superior Drummer 3 with the Legacy of Rock, Eddie Kramer's Legacy of Rock Amber kit. If you watched any of the videos, you know, they have all these different kits. I know this is off screen here, I can't really help it, it's the way the menu comes up, but they have the Amber kit and then they have a bunch of Eddie Kramer presets. So I just picked the Amber Median Ambience kit. Sounds like this. If I go over to some grooves for that, gives you an idea of what that sounds like. But along with that, I'm gonna leave that there. And actually, let's do this. Let's just drag a couple grooves down. I don't know what this is gonna sound like. We'll put some fills in there, a little bit of variety. Like I said, I'm just going with grabbing whatever kind of comes up here, but we'll see what happens with that. So what we have here then is okay, so we got a little drum track to work with. Now, what we want to do though is we want to come over here to Easy Bass. And like I said, I just installed the classic rock EBX. So if we go up to, if you haven't used Easy Bass before, you can go check my sort of first initial impressions video of that when it first came out, and I go through a lot of the features that I really liked in it, but I'm not going to bore you with that now. If we go up here though to this little pull down menu, it'll show us all of what Easy Bass comes with is Easy Bass Modern, Easy Bass Vintage, but you'll see now that I've installed Classic Rock, that's an option too. So, you know, I'm on Easy Bass Modern. This bass has a certain sound to it. It comes with a groove library, you know, that we can use. A lot of different possibilities. And we can edit those in any way we want. We can have those match up to a drum groove and what. It's quite amazing what this does. But again, like I said, I'm not going to really go into detail on that. But if you'll notice, there's an EBX Classic Rock Groove library as well, which goes along with this new EBX package. But first of all, the other thing we will see is there's going to be all sorts of presets here. So with Modern, we have finger or pick. So either playing with the fingers or playing with the pick, and all sorts of different presets so that the bass will sound different because of the processing that's with it. If we take kind of a groove here, I'll leave that down there, but change the preset. Some distortion on that. So similar sort of thing when we load up Classic Rock. So when we first load that up, this is the look they give us. And look what they have in the background. They have the Legacy kit, sort of that John Bonham kit from Superior Drummer, right? In the background, which is kind of cool. And they show us this 5-string what looks like a Fender Precision, right? I'm sure they can't write that on there for copyright reasons and whatnot. But what it comes up with is all of these possibilities. And some of these are going to be off the screen here. Let me see if I can scooch this over. There we go, that should be better. We've got a whole series of presets with finger, pick close to the bridge position, and pick close to the neck position. So really interesting and awesome stuff that they've done for us here. So if we kind of go back and maybe see if we can not loop. There we go, sorry. Great, so that's going to be the sound of that just looping, that groove that I put on there. That's with the clean DI with the pick. Okay, let's compare that sound to the clean DI with the fingers. We'll let that load. And we'll do clean DI with the pick close to the bridge position. Clean DI close to the neck position. A little bit fuller and warmer. So the neat thing is we have all these different possibilities. We could go to the finger style and say a gain driver. So I'm guessing that's going to be a little more broken up and distorted tone. We can also alter all of these as well by changing the tone on the instrument, the volume. We can add more drive on the bass and so forth. Let's see. We can add sub bass. We'll see what happens here when we do that. So we see there we're using the tone and volume on the instrument itself, which is really neat. As in real life, rolling the volume back on the instrument will clean the sound up a bit. We've also got the drive, bass, middle, treble, presence, and blend on the amp, and I'm guessing the blend is mixing the amp with the DI signal. Let's hear that. So very flexible tools here to really fine tune any of the presets they give you, but the presets sound pretty good. Console finger, I'm guessing this is just direct into a console. Let's see what that sounds like. They have this sub bass that works with it. Very nice, adds a real low, super low end to it. So lots of options within the presets that are built in. But some of so this is a really great sounding bass, and it's going to be a nice addition. Let's compare it. Let's say like classic rock, clean DI with the finger. We'll hear this loop with that. So that's the sound of the modern. Here's the vintage bass, clean DI, again with the fingers. And now that we've heard that, let's go back and go clean DI with the fingers on the new classic rock precision bass. And it's going to sound like this once it loads up. So I think really great job on this. Another nice set of sounds to add depending on what we're working on. I use these all the time for demos, and it's really nice. I'll go to the modern, I'll go to the vintage, and it's going to be really nice to have yet another tool, because sometimes you're just working on a track. You know, maybe you're going for a certain vintage vibe or a very modern sound, and you're not getting it out of one particular instrument. It's really nice to have this option to be able to choose another instrument, and these presets can get you right in the ballpark of what you want. Sometimes you want it sounding like that pick right back by the bridge. Well, you can select that, you know. Now, the other thing is, there's so many ways of capturing our audio we can play our guitar line and have it just pick the bass notes based off our guitar line. I showed that in my previous video. But one of the most useful things I find is this groove library. You know, Easy Bass comes with its own groove library here. We can do tap to find to match up with a certain rhythm that we want. Really, really well thought out. But let's take a look at the EBX Classic Rock Library. So what we get with this as far as MIDI, we have slow, mid-tempo, up-tempo, and shuffle. Let's just get rid of the one we dragged down there. So slow tempo, we have straight 4/4 and swing 4/4. Mid-tempo, we have swing 3/4 and straight 4/4. Up-tempo, we have straight 4/4. And then shuffle, we have swing 4/4. Sort of categories, right? So let's listen to a few of these on the clean DI finger setting and see how these sound. So they oftentimes start off, if I picked a slow tempo, you know, this says it's recorded originally at a tempo of 82. I'm set at 88. It's probably fine. It doesn't mean you have to play it at that tempo. It's just that's where it was kind of played at in the original. I find sometimes I go with really extreme settings different than what they say it was played at, and you get some really cool results. And that's the beauty of all this, right? So let's listen through some of these. This is the straight 4/4 slow tempo. You hear the articulations, and this is the amazing thing. These guys still have these articulations built in here that are really neat. If I pull that down and then double click this groove, I have the ability to alter any of this. If I wanted this to change chords, you can see this is all on A minor. I can come down here and just double click and say I want it to go from A minor, oh, sorry, everything's selected there. I want the first one to be A minor, next one C, next one G, last one F, let's say. Now, we've very quickly altered this groove to now sound like this. Which could potentially follow the chord progression. So I did that very quickly, and then I can also, you know, grab some different transitions. I could pick this, let's say C, and say I don't really like that transition that they had going into the other chord. And I could say I'll do a shorter transition. If you notice, the notes changed. Really, really neat stuff, and a real fast way to work in creating bass lines off of an existing groove they give you. So the neat thing about this is when you get a groove as part of, let's say, the classic rock package, you're not just stuck there, it's a starting point. We can change the articulations, but let's listen to what that change on the transition did. Right? And I could go in and change that again and say, I actually want a really long one. I don't know what this is going to do. A very different type of a thing. But again, I could go to a medium. Right? So many options. I can also manually grab notes and change them, or add slides, add hammer-ons. They have all sorts of slides: smooth slide, slide in, slide out, short slide up, like a grace note. And you hear that built into some of these grooves. Right there, you get a little slide. So it's a lot of realism to it. But if we go back to our grooves here, let's listen through a few more of these. I'll just keep changing these up a bit. So a lot of realism to these, which is very impressive, those beautiful slides. And remember, with any one of these, we can drag them down to our timeline, double click this and edit. We see where the slides are. We can change the notes. We can change the chords. Very effortless, very quick, right? Okay, if we move up to the mid-tempo, or actually let's go to the slow tempo with swing. So they have some that have a swing feel. You'll notice that's quieter. If you look over here, it shows you that this was played with less intensity, right? If we go to the next one, those little ghost notes and slaps and pops, really neat stuff. If we move on, this one's played with a little more intensity. So many great starting points that we can alter to whatever composition or musical idea we have. And even coming up with a musical idea based off of one of these might spark a new idea for you. Really neat stuff. We can go into the mid-tempo ones. These are around 105 beats per minute. So let's see here. Let me do this. Let's actually change that up to it to sort of hear them at the tempo that they were originally played at. Some of them are going to be very sparse, others busier. We have some straight 4/4 ones around the same tempo. Try some of these other ones. So lots of possibilities and options. Now you see, this was originally designed to be played at 160 beats per minute, but I'm much slower than that, and it still works. But if I bump this up to 160 and head back over there, and as I was saying, we could simply change the setting we have here below the belt with our fingers still. Let's see what it sounds like. So we can see lots and lots of options, right, for the tones. But I'm actually kind of liking this clean DI finger. We'll leave it there for now. Now, what if we take something like this? And I was kind of digging this. Let's grab that groove. We'll have it loop. And we'll go back over to Easy Drummer. And we'll do the same thing. We had picked these particular grooves. Let's see if they work. I mean, I didn't mean for them to work, but let's see what happens. Now, those grooves that I picked, I don't think were really made. They sound kind of hectic and rushed at 160, but if we go to our groove library and go to maybe some of the ones that have, were designed around faster tempos, possibly if we can find some, maybe there aren't any in here, I don't know. That works a little bit better, but we could also come down and say, let's move this to something that's a little more reasonable, maybe 135 or so, and go back up to, Definitely kind of cool. Let's see what... All right, what we could do is even just loop these first 8 bars in Cubase. So very interesting stuff, and I think we can hear just how great these are sounding and how wonderful they work. I mean, what a great package they've put together here, and a great addition to Easy Bass. And I just wanted to kind of get my first impressions with it. I'm super happy to have this, and a wonderful expansion. This has saved me so many times. I've done so much work with Superior Drummer 3 in conjunction with Easy Bass now, and even Easy Keys. And the way that they keep adding these, it's just a basically take my money situation every time they put something new out. I know I've never been disappointed. And I have so many options now to get so many sounds when I'm working on composing or demos or whatnot. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that really quick look at Easy Bass' new classic rock package. Go grab that now. It's available as of today. Thanks so much for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share the video, hit the little bell notification, all that good stuff. And I'll be back soon with some more content. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Ciao for now.